What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another deck profile here on TCGU University. I am Michael, and for our campus championship that we were doing this week, the hashtag Almost Done series, I was playing Shadowman under Air. I decided to go with a flash-oriented build because he shines a little bit more with the flash attacks. Yeah, so let's just get into it. Alright guys, so like I said, we're playing Shadowman today. He's a 6-hander with 27 life. He's got 2 effects. He's got an R once per turn. After we play a flash attack, we can take a flash attack from our card pool, put in our momentum, which is pretty sweet. And then his other effect doesn't have anything to do with flash attacks. It's R discard a momentum. After an attack is played, you make your opponent destroy a foundation. And then if it was a 0 diff or a 1 diff, that attack, whether it's yours or your opponent's, gets +3 damage. Yeah, like I said, we're playing him under Air. So for the attacks, we're playing 20 attacks in total. So I'm playing 2 Silver Fang Salvo. I've just been interested in trying this card, and then especially with Shadowman, just being able to build momentum. You can just like play one. You can play Shadow Fang or Shadow Shuriken, and then play this, stuff it into the momentum, draw a card, and then make this lose flash to get multiple. It's just a neat interaction. If your opponent doesn't have any good defense, it's just a little quick way to get through with the damage, but it's a 5/3 with a 3 high block, 2 high for 5 flash. R, this attack loses flash and gains multiple X equals the number of flash attacks I've played this combat phase, and it includes itself. So I could just play this and it'll have multiple one, which is neat. I played 2 Kneecapper, which I think is pretty staple in air flash attacks or air flash decks. It's a 3/3 with a 3 high block, 3 low for 4. It's got a lot of 3s. And then it's got a static. If this is blocked, you clear it from your card pool. It's a little counterproductive from what we want to do, but we can like play a Shadow Shuriken and then play this on a 4, so we don't have to like really commit too much to do it. And then just build momentum, then swing with this. If they block it, it clears. So then we have just a completely clear card pool, which is really nice. I'm playing 3 of the Shadow Blade Shuriken. I just felt like 4 was too much. It's a 5/3, 1 mid block, 5 mid for 5. It's got flash and weapon. After it leaves the card pool, we get to draw a card, which is sweet. So with Shadowman's response of put 1 into your momentum, since it's going to from a public zone, since it's going face up to your momentum, you get to draw a card because it's face up. And then its other response is, or its other effect is response. Your next attack gets +2 damage. This card's good. I just think the other mid block that we're playing in our deck is just better. We're playing 4 Leg Shredder. Probably the best flash attack around. It's a 3/3 with a 2 high block, 3 high for 4. It's got kick, flash, weapon. After this is removed from the game, we get to ready one of our foundations. And then R, after this is played, my opponent commits 1 foundation for each Leg Shredder in my card pool. So 1, they'll commit 2, they'll commit 3. But if I played it like this, if I played this, then they'll commit 1, then they'll commit 2, then they'll commit 3. So 3 Leg Shredders means your opponent commits 6, which is pretty nice. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's great on block, just to make your opponent commit 1. This is my favorite attack in the deck, 4 Stinging Skull. I absolutely love this card. It's a 4/3, 2 low block, 4 low for 4. It's got kick, flash, weapon. After it's blocked by your opponent, they commit 1, and then if it deals damage, it deals an extra 2. So it's really nice. Your opponent never wants to partial block this, and sometimes you just catch your opponent off guard when they partial block it, and they have to commit 1, and they take extra damage. Then the last attack we're playing in the deck is 4 Hurricane of Death. It's a 6/3, 0 mid block, 6 low for 6. It's a really good card. It's got Desperation 5, flash, weapon. R, after I play this attack, I destroy one of my opponent's committed foundations, and I gain damage equal to the difficulty of that. So I'll play this, and then before I use Shadowman's response to blow up one of theirs, I'll use this to pop the card I want to pop, and then Shadowman will just try and get them to pop one of their smaller cards so they don't lose any value, or maybe they pop one of their bigger cards and lose a little bit of value. Yeah, just like Hurricane of Death, and then one other attack, Shadowman can blow up like 2 foundations, which is pretty nice. So on to the actions and then the 2 assets I'm playing. Playing 3 Bang. it's just good air defensive piece. Just enhance seal one card in your opponent's staging area. And then the response is nice. If your opponent chooses not to block, you can play this from your hand, burn them for 3, and get to draw a card. It's a 3/4 with a 2 high block. It's a pretty staple card. It's pretty good under those 3 symbols. Playing 1 Jurassic Jungle. You guys might know before if you've seen my Raptor deck profile. Shoutouts. I actually really like this card in Flash decks. It's just really good in general, and Shadow Man just gets to build a momentum pretty easily, especially because even if they get blocked, you're going to build a momentum. So it's a 3/4 with a 2 mid block terrain. Enhanced discard of momentum to seal an attack, and that's playable by either player. And then R commit, which is actually relevant. If your opponent plays a form on a foundation or an asset, you can just commit it to cancel it, which is actually really nice as well. Then we can use this on defense, and since our attacks have flash, our opponent can't use this on defense. So we actually are the only person that really gets any benefit from this card. And then I'm playing 1 Maze Castle. I've just been wanting to try it out for a while, especially with the 0 mid block and breaker 2, just because since we're not Lord Raptor, just having the built-in like breaker abilities and stuff like that is really, really nice. It's a 2/5 0 mid, like I said, breaker 2 terrain. I can enhance discard of momentum to change the zone of an attack. That's playable by either player. And then R commit. When my opponent plays an attack, I can commit it to give them -2 to their check, and then failing it doesn't end the turn. Yeah, I've been wanting to play this card for a while, and I thought it'd be really useful in this deck. So on to the foundations. Playing 3 Cage Fighter. It's just a really good defensive piece for air and death in general. It's a 1/5 with a 3 high block. Our flip, after our opponent plays a card that isn't a foundation, we give -1 to their check, and then failing it doesn't end the combat phase. Yeah, it's just good to try and end your opponent's turn as fast as possible. I'm playing 3 Iron Will. Since we're not Lord Raptor, we need to find a way to give speed. And Iron Will is the only way we can really get speed. So 1/5, 3 mid block. R commit, after an attack is played, give it 2 speed. It's pretty nice. Yeah. It's just really staple. This helps you get like your Death Hurricanes through, or your Shadow Blade Shurikens. This is really important to the deck, to be honest. I should have played it as a 4-of. Playing 3 Thrilled to Eat You. It's our other speed buff, but it's the speed buff that I don't like because I have to commit it before I'm committing to pass checks. It's got a first form commit. Your opponent commits one of their foundations, and then my next flasher weapon gets +2 speed. So it's really nice because it makes our Hurricane of Death live, but we have to commit one. But it's a 1/5 with a 2 mid block, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good card. Playing 4 Ageless and Wise because even after the erratas that happened at time of recording, the erratas that happened yesterday, I still don't want to deal with the Tagoro Brothers, and then I still don't want to deal with just good defensive actions in general, prepare to fight, stop, stuff like that. So yeah, or not stop. I don't know, I'm being a goof, sorry. It's a 1/5, 2 low block. And it says R flip. If our opponent tries to debuild us, we can cancel that. It's just good against a lot of stuff that debuilds us. Like I said, Tagoro Brothers, Spear Gun, if we're going up against Yusuke, Moonset, just stuff like that. It's really good. It's super staple in all air builds, especially with the 2 low block. We're playing 4 Mind Trigger. It's just a good way for Flash to get damage, and it's just good spam. It's a 1/5 with a 3 mid block. R, check a 4. After an attack is played, get +1 damage. It's just really, really good, and I love the artwork on this card. Yeah, it's just nice to get just the extra pokes in. I'm playing 1 Ninja Outcast. Like I said, Shadow Man just gets to build a momentum for free. So this just says if we swung 2 attacks, we guarantee have 1 momentum to cancel a weapon effect. And then it also says that our opponent can't reversal us. Or on my turn, I can put an attack back in my opponent's hand. It's really good. Comes up against Shanghua and then just decks that want to play reversals in general. I'm playing 2 Showtime just because it's unique. It doesn't have a block, and I really do want to see it for the cancel, but like the 3 damage just doesn't really matter too much. We have to play like a decent attack string to kill our opponent anyways. It's a 2/4, no block. R once per turn. I can give my attack +3 damage on the play, and then if my opponent's in deadlock, I can give +3 speed as well. And then R once per turn, when my opponent plays a non-keyword ability, I can remove a flash attack to cancel it. I'm playing 2 new shipmate. I love this card, even though it's unique. It's just a little bit better than Showtime because it's a 2/5 with a 2 high block, which is nice. Then enhanced commit -2 damage, gain a life. It's pretty good. Basically, it saves you like 3 life, if you want to think about it that way. I'm playing 2 Evil Eye. I love this card for the speed reset because it's playable while committed and it's got a good high block. It's a 2/5/2 high block. The abilities on this are playable while committed. I can remove a character card from my hand or card pool to draw a card, or I can flip it to reset the speed to printed. It comes up. It's a really good card. This is something I was messing around with in this deck. I'm playing 3 Carrying the Weight. I feel like this card would be better in Raptor because Raptor can remove a Leg Shredder on offense to ready this back up. But we don't have a way to build in momentum like we do with Shadow Man. But something I really like about this is the R commit. After we build a momentum, we can commit flip it to build another momentum. So just with like Shadow Man, we play a Shadow Blade Shuriken. Then we play like a Kneecapper. We'll use Shadow Man to build one in, draw a card, and then we can respond Carrying the Weight. We just built a momentum. We'll build another momentum. So then if the Kneecapper deals damage and they don't block it, we have 3 momentum right there. So like Flash Fang Salvo can have multiple 3 right there. And it also just says if my opponent if my opponent tries to play 3 attacks, I can destroy 3 of their cards because I have 3 momentum in that situation. It's got a nice low block, and it's just a card I've wanted to try. Best card in the deck, playing 4 Healed by a Shaman. It's a 2/5 with a 2 high block. Death Form flip. If I have 0 cards in my hand, I can flip it, draw a card, and gain 2 life. But the good effect is R commit, discard my hand as cost. After an attack is played, I can add a flash attack from my discard pile to my hand. This card's absolutely nuts. You can just build out all your foundations, have nothing in hand. Your opponent plays an attack, I'll R commit, discard my hand as cost, which can be 0, and I'll just pick up a card to block with. It's very good. MVP, especially on offense. We're playing 4 Journey West. Since we're not Lord Raptor, we don't have Breaker 2, but Journey West lets us still have Breaker 2. It's a 2/5/3 low block. Enhanced flip, if we choose not to block, their next attack is +2 difficulty. Shadow Man's a little bulkier, so we can afford to get away with this card. Yeah, the +2 is really nice, especially against like shotgun decks when they want to go like attack, like 2 foundations, like then a shotgun. It's just really good against those decks. Playing 4 feels good to be bad. I'm always iffy about this card, about running 3 or 4, but playing 4 was fine today. It's a 2/5/3 low block. Enhance on my opponent's turn, I can flip it to ready 1 Death Foundation that hasn't been ready this turn. So like I can ready what's it called? I can ready like New Shipmate. Or Healed by a Shaman, which is super nice. And then Enhance remove, playable while committed. I can remove a flash attack to give -2 speed, which is very, very good as well, especially because it's playable while committed. So if our opponent like buffs the speed, we can playable while committed, flip an Evil Eye to reset the speed, and then use feels good to be bad, give it -2 speed, and we turn something that was unblockable to blockable, unmanageable to manageable. For some spice, I was playing 3 Hellward Bound, just for the form flip, discard 1 card from our card pool. So if we didn't want to, like, if our opponent like Breakered us or Keiko's aided us, then with the Shadow Blade Shuriken, we could just clear it instead of just using the Shadow Man to build it in and play through the breaker. We can just form flip, discard Shadow Blade Shuriken, draw a card, and then we can play like one of our smaller attacks on like a 4 or 5, depending on what they did to us. It just opens up like a lot of utility. Then I'm playing 1 Esoteric Yoga. Don't worry, guys. I learned how to say it finally. It's a 3/6, 2 high block unique. Enhanced playable while committed, -4 speed. We have a lot of speed hate that's playable while committed, which is really, really nice. And then R commit, after my opponent tries to add a card to their hand, I make them discard 1. Their effect will still resolve, but I mean, at the cost of adding 1, they have to lose 1. Yeah, there's a price for everything. And then I'm playing 1 Familiar Faces. It's a 3/5 no block. R destroy, after our opponent plays an ability on an action card, we can cancel it and discard it from the card pool. And then first enhanced commit, your attack gets +2 speed. It's only playable if you have a face down card in your card pool. So yeah, guys, that was my air build for Shadow Man. I enjoyed it for the most part. I was gonna play rocks. in it today, but unfortunately with the errata that happened, I was not able to. If you don't know what the errata was, Rock says that it has to be the first attack you played this turn. So like I had a really neat interaction. It doesn't matter anymore, but I'll tell you guys anyways. So you have a Shadow Blade Shuriken and a Rock. So you play the Shadow Blade Shuriken. It will resolve, giving +2 damage to your next attack, which will be the Rock. And then you play the Rock, use Shadow Man to stuff this in your momentum, and then you use Shadow Man to discard this as momentum. You already got to draw a card. So the Shuriken replaced itself, and then you blow up one of their foundations, and then you just use the Shadow Blade Shuriken as a multiple copy for your Rock. It's just a neat little combo, but it doesn't work too much. It doesn't really work anymore. You have to set it up, but then you don't really get any value. But yeah, that was my Shadow Man deck profile. If you like the content, you can check us out on Patreon or TCG Player or Facebook. We got some awesome cards, awesome deals out there for you guys, and we also have some awesome content here on YouTube, which you can check out down below, or our Patreon. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Stay learn.